Hello, today I will paint a rock while I chat with you. And today's topic is going to be about rescuing cats. And if you see a cat, should you just automatically rescue it as fast as you can? My answer is probably not, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's get started with the rock. As you can see from my previous rocks here, that I like purple. So let's get out some purple paint. Here it is. And I usually mix it with some white. So I've been walking a lot more in my neighborhood and further from my house because I signed up to do a Mammoth March this year. And that is a 20-mile walk, or there's also a 30-mile option, but I'm doing the 20-mile walk with some of my family. And for practicing, I've had to get further away from home just to work up to the 20 miles, which I don't think I'll do 20 miles in practice. But anyway, because of that, I've been seeing more cats than I normally see when I walk. And sometimes the cats have collars, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're pretty afraid of me, sometimes they're not. So the one I saw recently that I want to talk about, it was across the street on the sidewalk or in a driveway. I'll put a picture of it here, somewhere, so you can see it. And I could not tell if it was a teenager cat or if it could have been like an old, straggly senior cat. Regardless, my first thought was maybe someone should rescue that cat, but did it need rescued? So if you just swoop in and rescue a cat, you could be stealing someone's cat, and you don't always know the situation. So for this cat, if it was an old cat that probably shouldn't have been outside, it could just be as simple as the owners know it's an old cat that shouldn't be outside, but maybe it is being very persistent and wanting to go outside. And if it was my cat that was old and wanted to go outside, I'd probably let it go outside because that's what it liked to do. So the answer isn't always just like, oh, there's a cat, I better rescue it. And if it was a teenager cat, I mean, the mother cat could have been nearby. It could have just been someone's indoor-outdoor cat. So what you should do in this situation is watch the cat, see where it goes, ask around, which that's a little bit harder to do if you're not like right with the immediate neighbor. But displacing a cat causes the cat stress too. So if it's not like an immediate danger, of course, if a cat's like stuck on the highway, that cat needs rescued or in some other dangerous situation. But if you come across a cat that's like on the sidewalk when you're walking, it probably doesn't really need rescued. But if you wanted to get involved, you have to ask around, which could mean going door to door until you find out who knows something about the cat, because it could very well have an owner. I mean, it's a good thing to rescue cats when the cat actually needs rescued. It could have been a fixed cat just sitting there minding its own business, and then some do-gooder comes along thinking it needs rescued when maybe it doesn't. Because I think about pork chop in winter in my yard. They're pretty friendly with me. I know they go someplace else during the day and probably at night too. I just don't know where. And if someone wanted to rescue them, I suppose that would be a good thing. I'd be very surprised if someone else thought they were friendly enough to be indoor cats. I mean, I know with enough time, they'd probably come around, but it's been 6 years since we've been feeding Pork Chop, and I can pet him. There's no way I could get him into a cat carrier. Like the last time he went to the vet, he had to be trapped. Of course, that was a couple years ago. So with this rock, I'm trying to make it look good on all the sides that I call this the top. Anyway, back to the cat situation. So just if you see a cat, that's not an obvious distress, just do some checking before you rescue it. And in my area, all the rescues are usually full anyway. Like they can't immediately just take in a cat that someone swoops up. So if you do want to rescue a cat, you should definitely have a plan or someplace you can take it. But I would still highly recommend finding out where the cat lives, who's feeding it, do they want it to be rescued when they're not in immediate danger. Like the cat I saw on the sidewalk, this one, like it seemed like it was friendly because I said hi to it. Of course you would say hi to a cat if you saw one. And it acted like it was going to come up to me and cross the street. So, I mean, I was not prepared to be rescuing a cat or having the time to find out if it needed rescued. So I just walked away and it didn't follow me, which I was thankful for that. And one time I did rescue a cat that did not need to be rescued, which also weighs on my mind sometimes. I actually made another video about that a while back. It was on Christmas. There was a new cat in our yard that seemed pretty friendly. So I thought, well, maybe this cat is an abandoned Christmas present already, because sometimes people give cats as a gift, and people don't want a cat. And then they just kick them out to fend for themselves. And I went door to door, because I didn't recognize the cat. Yeah, I went door to door on Christmas Day asking around if it was someone's cat. And then the next day I took it to the Humane Society. It was not chipped, but they posted on their Facebook page, and it ended up the cat lived around the corner, maybe about 7 or 8 houses. Well, counting houses, it's probably only about 6 houses from me. And the lady came and got it. But the cat was just it was a indoor-outdoor cat that I just didn't know. So since I didn't recognize it, I thought it needed rescued, but I was wrong. If I just would have left it and waited longer, the cat just would have went home and it would have been fine. That's why I think when people want to rescue a cat, they should just have a plan in place and do proper checking so you're not stealing someone's cat. And when you rescue a cat, you're also taking it away from its home. So back to Pork Chop in winter, I call my yard their home. Cats get stressed out when they have to move. So I think Pork Chop in winter are fine. If someone else wanted to rescue them, have them as indoor cats, like if someone else in my neighborhood is feeding them, which they could be, and they could be friends with them too, they could certainly let me know at least. But they must know they go someplace else. When we brought in Buster, this was a long time ago, and he was starving as an outdoor cat in January. He just walked into my house, but I wasn't planning to rescue a cat that day. But since he was obviously starving and not doing well outside on his own, and I knew very little about outdoor cats back then, besides seeing them in my neighborhood occasionally. So since he obviously needed food, we let him in. And then we just checked around. I think back then I had to put like an ad on the radio station's website, seeing if anyone was looking for him. That was in 2011. So it's been a while. So do your due diligence is what I'm trying to say. But sometimes I did wonder if there was someone else in the neighborhood that was feeding Buster and I just didn't know it. And they might have always wondered what happened to him. Because another cat that looked like Buster, we called him Other Buster too, who did not want to come in. I think he always had like a 5-foot rule with me. That's the closest I ever got to him. He did not want to come in. I'm going to paint a purple cat on here. And then one day there was a big cat fight during the night. I actually went outside because it was so loud, and it was in February. And this was before I knew how to do TNR. Because Buster, if you remember him, he had an ear tip, but he came that way. And we learned about TNR from the vet. Because we thought something horrible had happened to his ear. Anyway, these other unfixed cats were out there. And they had a big fight during the night. And then we never saw Other Buster 2 again. So I've always wondered where he went. So if you've rescued a cat, feel free to put your story in the comments. I like to hear stories. So when I'm walking, I take pictures of the cats I see. So that same day I went for a walk, or it might have been a different day that week. I saw this beautiful cat that had eyes that were 2 different colors, which I think that was the first time I've ever seen that a cat with 2. I mean, I've seen them on the internet. This cat just got a lot bigger. That's okay. See, my trouble I have is with the ears, getting the ears to look right. And when they don't, I just paint them a little bit bigger and redo them until they look right. All right. Sometimes I think I don't talk enough during my videos, but then I end up having to concentrate on things, which makes it harder to keep talking at the same time. And this is Charlotte back here in the window. She loves that window seat, and it's nice out today, so the window's open. So she's taking her afternoon nap over there. And I'm hoping with this microphone that it's not picking up a bunch of outdoor noise, like cars driving by and stuff. So sometimes when I paint, if the things aren't proportional, and that's okay because it's art and it can look however it comes out, it's just fine. So if you like to paint, just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to look perfect. I just really like painting. And then when I'm done painting, last week I hid some of the rocks I had painted previously out in the woods at a park. Because in my community, that's what people do around here. Like most of them probably don't paint rocks quite this nice. I might be a little biased. And some of them probably paint better rocks than this. Like a friend told me about people doing this as a hobby. So I will make another video when these are ready to hide. And I put my website name on the back of them in case someone wants to look me up after they find one. I think I did all those a different day. Yeah, so back to the cats. If you see cats outside, they're usually around where they're being fed. And if you think a cat might be lost, it's a good idea just to keep an eye on, in my community anyway, it's Facebook pages where people often post pictures of their when the cats are lost, and then you can always help find a lost cat someday. Now, here's how they look. I feel like there should be something in the flowers there. Let's do a little pink. I know what, pink is one of my bigger tubes. I don't think you can see my paint. Oh, right here in front of me. This is 𝐞𝐞𝐤𝐿 magenta. I'm sure I said that wrong. Ooh. Just need a little dab of this. I should probably let that dry a little bit. I can see it's still wet, the yellow, so what am I thinking? We'll just do another rock quick too. As usual, I got too much paint out of the tube, so I was thinking about talking about ways that your outdoor cat can completely disappear if it gets lost outside. I think I'll save that for another video, or maybe I'll just write in a blog post about that, because some of the ways are pretty depressing, so maybe nobody wants to watch a video about that. Add in some purple because, whoopsie. And the shirt I'm wearing is one of my old, probably one of the first cat shirts I had. We got it on vacation one year. And I don't know if you can see it somewhere on one of the sides, there's holes. And those holes got there from cat claws. And the shirt's quite faded. Yes, I did not, this is not one of my cat shirts. That was done by Dean Russo. He might be like more of like a famous artist that you may have heard of. But now I've decided that it can be a painting shirt because it doesn't matter if I get paint on it because I don't really wear this shirt anywhere very much. So almost all my shirts that I wear, my t-shirts anyway, have cats on them because I like cats that much. And I do have some designs that I sell on Redbubble with some of the ones I did design. If that's something you're interested in, there is a link below in the comments. And Redbubble is a print-on-demand site, so you can get it, my designs on shirts, cards, mugs, anything that you're interested in that they have on their site. Like they have lots of products, even like shower curtains. But not all my designs are on every product. It just depends on what size it was initially. And I was thinking maybe I should try selling these little rocks. The thing with selling rocks is it takes me a while to make them, and then I paint the bottoms and then put a coating on them. I think it's polyurethane or something like that, something my husband got for me to coat them so that they hold up better outside. So that's like a pinkish purple. I'm not sure I'm in love with the color, but I really like the purples. But see, that's a different purple than that. Let's add in some more pink. And these rocks, just a reminder that I bought these rocks. Actually, my husband bought them. But anyway, they're from a gardening store. And the gardening store here has a cat that lives at it. Anyway, if you're taking rocks from outside, you should always keep in mind that depending on where you're at, you might not be allowed to just take the rocks. Like if you're like at a national park or something, or a beach. So I was just thinking I could have made this one into a beach scene, but trying to keep things simpler. So my cat Elwood, He's the one that has kidney disease. I've been learning a little bit more about that. So I made a video about him last week. I can't really remember what I said in it. Other than kidney disease for cats, that kind of sucks. So there does not really seem to be much of a cure. It's just like fighting the symptoms as best that you can for as long as you can for the cat. So he has anemia. So he's been on the supplement for that, which I have to chase him around now. He's gotten smart, which is a good thing that he feels good enough to run. That's a good sign. So he actually doesn't mind the taste of it. It's just forcing him to take it is what he doesn't like, which I wouldn't like that either if I was a cat. But at least he takes it. When Buster was on the same medicine, Buster would spit it out, gagging like it was the worst thing ever. So at least it's easier to give it to Elwood. And I started giving him a treat after he gets it. So maybe he'll learn to like it. And the other day I tried to mash up treats because he still likes his treats. And give it to him with treats. But he was like, no. No thanks. So it's definitely a journey. Okay. Maybe I'll paint a yellow cat onto that one. I'm just trying to see if I have enough of the stone covered up. So Elwood, we started him on the appetite stimulant, and we've actually seen him eating a little bit of his food. This is the kidney food. But I suspect he's probably not eating enough unless he's eating at night. Now this rock from the other day needs a little touch up because I painted the bottom too soon and the paint came off. So it was just one day at a time with Elwood. He was actually cuddling with Jake when I started this video, which it's been a while since I saw them cuddle, so that made me feel good about them. And I can't remember, there's actually flowers that have pink in the center. But this is art, so it can look however I want it to look. That's the beauty of making art. It doesn't have to always be super realistic. Okay. So there's that one. We're going to call that one done. And I'll touch up the sides and the bottom a different day. So now, since I still have yellow paint out, I think I will just put a yellow cat on here. I also got out too much purple paint, so we'll have to see what to do about that. Because some paint is more expensive than others. I still don't like wasting paint, just the principle of it. So we'll just do a yellow cat since I have yellow paint. I don't know if I've ever seen a yellow cat. I don't think they exist. It's usually orange. And I think the orange cats are probably really red. I don't quite know how to explain it. I think technically they might really be red cats, like their fur. And it looks orange. I might be wrong about that. If you know, just tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. That's fine. I can take it. But please be nice. So this yellow paint is a different brand. This is from, I think, Hobby Lobby? Yeah, Hobby Lobby. And this is different than this other brand I have. Is called Golden. But if you want to paint rocks, you can just use whatever paint you have. You can just even use like the cheapest craft paint you can find. You don't have to coat it. Just have fun. So this might need 2 coats to actually look yellow. Now, oh, back to selling rocks. If I sold these on my website, do you think anyone would buy one? It's like I really like making them. But then having a business we have to ship things, that takes time. And then I feel like people are so used to free shipping, like from Amazon and stuff. I mean, there's no way I could do free shipping. I'd probably have to get those boxes from the post office where it's like a set rate. Like maybe it's like $8 for the cheapest box. Because I don't think a rock could go into their envelopes. So if you think you might actually buy a rock like this, I mean, they're kind of small, but then you can hide them in your community if you wanted to, or just enjoy it in your yard or your house. I have some that I painted that I intended to put outside, and my husband said he liked them too much and that we had to keep them, and they're in our kitchen. Okay, so this is another one where I don't think I did the ear right. So the cat just got a little bit bigger. So I don't know if you can see like how thin that is. You can kind of see the purple through it, which was okay. Let's see, to make an orange cat, that's really hard for me to get the orange that actually matches the same color of the cat. Like, I'll show you. Now this is a weird painting that didn't come out how I thought. It's supposed to be a pork chop on his bench he likes to sit on. But trying to get this orange to match the exact color of pork chop's orange is really, really hard for me. Like I've asked different artists, I've tried different things, so I'm still working on how to get that to come out. So sometimes it's just easier just to paint whatever color I have into a cat shape and call it good. But that was supposed to be pork chop. And you probably can't see where I'm reaching since Taco sneezes on everything. I have to keep my art where he can't sneeze on it. But as far as I know, he doesn't come onto this table here. He could. Cats kind of just go where they want. But it's a really nice day here today. It's like in the 70s, nice breeze. It's not humid. I'm just trying to think, how can I make this rock look better? Sometimes you have to wait for it to dry, or I could turn on the hair dryer, but I don't feel like listening to the hair dryer. I'm not really a fan of loud. I once heard a saying somewhere, I don't know where or who to credit for this, that dots fixes lots. So we're going to see if that makes this look better. Just putting some dots around the cat. I felt like it was too much empty, just plain purple. Maybe that looks better. I think I'm going to give this cat eyes. It's much easier just to do a silhouette than trying to put eyes on a cat. Okay. I wish this was dry. I don't know if this even yellow over here is dry yet from the first one. Here, I should put that so you can see it. It's a really nice little square rock. We'll give it red eyes. It kind of looks creepy. I think it's very interesting how cats have different colored noses. Like a gray cat can have like a... Oh, I diluted that too much. Gray cats can have black noses or gray noses, and some cats have 2 colors in their nose. That looks more like a cat with an open mouth. I think we'll just leave it. Not doing too good at painting this one, but that's okay. It's just fun. My husband will probably say it's weird. And I could just paint over it. But it can also be a conversation piece if someone finds this one at the park. So I'll make a video the next time I hide the rocks at the park. And those are usually like a YouTube Shorts video. That didn't really work, but I'm going to call it the nose anyway. And like maybe the cat's looking off in a direction. Now I can hear people talking, kind of like yelling. Might be construction workers down the street. I mean, they're probably just being loud because outside, but hopefully that's not coming across in the video. But I'm finding it to be a little distracting as I paint. There we go. This is looking a little bit more yellow now. Let's see, maybe we can give the cat some legs. That's also a hard challenge for me. Let's see. So I feel like I need a picture of cat legs to paint them right, but we'll just add some like this. I kind of made up an orange. Little shading here. See, now that went up too high. And now it looks like the cat doesn't have a chin. Let's see if I can do like a little shadow. I don't know how to do that either. Let's see. Someday I'll be really good at painting. Just have to keep practicing. And the thing about practicing is I like practicing painting. It's very enjoyable. So unlike the piano back here, I don't really enjoy the practice of the piano very much. So it's like I want to be good at piano without practicing, and that's not really how it works. Well, I didn't give it much of a neck here. Shadow line. That's okay. Not all my rocks are going to be amazing and cute. This one's just kind of weird. So here, see, this one I really like. This one just seems odd, like an alien cat. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you have a request of how you would like me to paint a rock, just put that in the comments and I can try to do that. And please subscribe to my channel. That helps more people find it.